So I'm going to show all the girls today. You got all the pit bulls, and you got little Addie, the little miniature schnauzer. They used to think she was a rabbit and wanted to kill her. AKA mountain goat. And then you got Chicken Lou right there. You got Gracie, the white one, we got out of the shelter a few days ago. You got Ruby, the bigger one. You got little Roxy down there. Roxy.
I would jump in there. I wouldn't want
So yeah, that's all of them. That's our pack for today. And there goes the little mountain goat down, chasing the big dogs. Let's see little Addie. Look at her.
Addie!
Yeah. Alright, we're gonna head on over that way, see what we can find. There's a nice specimen right here. Okay, that's in its natural form. You notice they always break off flat, like I showed you. I just showed you over there. And the way the natural tree breaks down today. Okay? This is just a tiny piece. All this is the same. Okay? It's just bits and pieces. Alright, we're going to head on over that way. Hold on a moment. So before we go over there, I want to show you a few things here. So I showed you how things get filled in and it looks like it's one rock, but you can see still part of the rings in there behind the moss. Okay, you come down here in the water. Okay, you come up here. And what's kind of cool about this is that right there is a tiny piece of a standing ring that's still standing. And the way they break up, like I showed you in all the other pieces. But that is just one tiny part of a ring that's still standing. Okay? Let me try to get an end view of it. That's all it is. It's just part of a ring that's still standing. And you should know by now how they break up. So that has been weathered, smoothed, and eroded. Okay? So we're going to leave that at that. So this is just another deal on how the tree breaks down. Just more documentation. Okay? You see there. This is how you get all the pieces that are flat and the giant pieces. This could be as big as an apartment building. Okay? You see how everything breaks down flat. You see in there.
Girls, come on.
This is just how the tree breaks down, and then it petrified. Okay? This is what happens when it gets water and moisture. It just breaks down and splits. And then after the flood, everything petrified. And so much of it's buried. It has been dispersed across this earth, everywhere. Okay, I just wanted to show this. Remember, this could be as big as a washing machine, and then it could break again, and pieces just continually break down. And then when you look inside here, you could still see all the rings. Okay? All the rings in there. I don't know if you can see them on camera, but everything I've been showing you, these are everywhere from feet thick to several inches thick. Okay, so we're going to leave that at that. Here I want to show you, okay? You really got to wrap your mind around this. So these are actual tree rings. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and you remember how the tree breaks up. I just showed you that, okay? But this is on a massive scale, okay? Things have been worn and weathered and rounded and smoothed and fallen away, okay? These are just tree rings, I know. They're just giant, okay? Remember how the tree breaks apart. I just showed you that, but this is on a massive scale. These are different tree rings. And you see the way they split here, okay? And the way they split here, it's just the way it happens. But this is on a massive scale. And a lot of this is filled in, like I've explained to you. And I don't know how else to explain it. So I just wanted to document this and show you this, alright? So we're going to stop this here. So I'm going to come on the side of this over here, okay? Some of it's still recognizable. Okay, you go down under here. Okay, you can still kind of see the rings right there. And you come down under here. Okay, where the weather hasn't hit. Ruby, you're always in my way, girl. Okay, you see here. Okay, this is swooping up and around. Okay, so hopefully you understand this. But you get back. Okay, I'm going to pause this while I go over there. Okay, I'm on the side over here where I just showed you. And you get under there where the weather really hasn't hit, and you see what I'm trying to show you here. That all these are just tree rings that have the moss on it. And it's hard to see the rings. Okay? So I'm going to stop that trail, but I wanted to show you this real quick. This is more of the granite and quartz. Okay? This all comes from the tree. It's part of the vein or around a knot. Okay? It's not what they tell you. Okay? I just wanted to document that and show you that. So we're going to move on up. Okay? Actually, while we're right here, I'm going to show you ones again. Okay? Remember, when I talk about rings, you should understand that. I don't talk about rings like that, like looking at a tree. It's kind of like a cutout. But you got to remember how the cedar tree works. Okay? The characteristics of it. The twists and turns and how it breaks down. Okay? And all these little spires and just how it breaks down. Okay, I'm going to head on up there. Show you this here again, like we were just at the monument. What you're looking at here is, so they decided to carve a president's face right here. Okay, all the faces. You have all the spires and stuff that have fallen away and rounded and eroded. And a lot of the rings and identifying characteristics have filled in. Okay, but that's what you're looking at. You're looking at a tree. The pieces and parts are everywhere, and then they decide to carve faces in one of the large uprights. Okay, that's all you're looking at. Okay, so we're gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna show you this piece while I'm here. That looks like one solid piece, but if you look close at it, okay, you gotta look close at it. This has all the quartz in it. But you look down here, you see a couple of the rings that haven't filled in. You see right here a couple of the rings that haven't filled in. And it has the quartz in it, right there. Okay? Just wanted to show you that. You should understand by now how the rings fill in. So we're going to leave that at that. This is the type of stuff that's coming out of the tree. Okay, this is weathered and eroded. Okay? This came out of the tree. So now you know what you're looking at when you go to the mountains. Okay? Okay, we're going to leave that at that. While I'm here, I'm going to show you where I'm going. I'm going to go up there. That looks just like one big boulder. Okay? But when I get up there, I'll show you what it is. Okay? So hold on a moment. When I turned around, I seen this. Okay? This is just part of the tree that's still sticking up, remaining. And you have it over here. Okay? Oh, that branch is keeping me from focusing. But it's just all part of the tree that's still standing. Okay, so hold on. So I'm going to show you an overview of this before I get up there. You'll see like all this stuff. It looks just like one big cluster of rocks, okay? Looks like one big cluster of rocks. But this stuff is all have been filled in with sediment. Like I told you, it looks like it's one solid stone. But when I get up there, I will show you, okay? So hold on. You'll have to excuse the breathing. This is pretty steep mountain here. Anyway, so you look over there, okay? I'm going to zoom in, if maybe. All this over there is the same as I'm going to show you right here, okay? This is stuff that's really not recognizable, but I'm going to show you what it is, okay? You look here. All that up there that looks like one stone is the same as this, but it's been filled in and it's kind of monolithic, but it's the same thing, okay? You see on the outside here it's just smooth because of the weather and the elements, but you get around to this side, for some reason the moss and stuff's not on it. And you see the rings that haven't been affected by the upper elements. Okay, and you see here, this could have been one giant knot. Once again, you see the quartz and granite inside the tree, as if it was a knot. And it looks like one, it's just a big cluster. Okay? You can come in here and see. You see the rings that are still present, but it's weathered. You see up under here, you still see the rings. You could see the rings in this, even though it looks like one piece, okay? So I'm going to go around this way, hold on. So more than likely right here, this is the separation from like the knot where the quartz, a giant quartz vein ran. I mean giant, like 20-30 feet thick. Okay, and all this right here is the same as this. It's just solidified, not solidified, it's just filled in with the elements. On the ends you can still see the rings. Okay, it's just got the moss and stuff on it. But this is part of a knot and or a giant vein, okay? You see there, it's just all petrified wood. And this is worldwide, you just got to know what you're looking at, okay? I hope this video helps you out in your journey for the truth. You see here, you see the characteristics, okay? You see the different rings. Okay, it's not like looking down at a stump. It's like a cutout, like 3D maybe. 3-dimensional, 2-dimensional. So you see, all that has been filled in. And if you go up here, you can still see part of the rings that haven't filled in. And you have a vein right here. Okay, right here. And you see down below, the wind has just whipped through here and smoothed all this. Okay, this was a giant knot. You get to the end right here. Okay, you still see the wood. Okay, this is incredible stuff, man. I've been all over documenting this. See, here's more of the rings that come across. This here is just part of the tree. You see there? Okay. You just got to know what you're looking at. This is, like I say, more than likely one giant knot and or vein incorporated. You see all the quartz in the vein. Okay. See, this is just all wood. Just got to know what you're looking at. The whole mountain, all mountains. Okay, I tell you, the quartz, granite, gold, silver, it comes from the tree. And I'm showing you this. You see the rings, okay? And there's the vein. It comes from the tree. I know I keep saying that and repeating it, but it's incredible. I can't explain, especially when you understand the implications of the lie, how big it is. Okay? All this, at least from my vantage point, I can see through the moss where I'm at. But you see all the rings hidden behind the moss. Just like I showed you up there at the monument. Okay? It looks like one huge piece, but it's not. It's just filled in. Okay, you can go up there. You could just barely see the rings. This is covered. It's not as open to the elements under there. Okay, so I'm going to pause it here and go up a little further. So this is the back side of what I was just showing you, okay? This black stuff, somebody built a fire down here. Okay? So, from what I've learned and seen over the years that I've been trying to document this lie and deception and the truth about creation, this is one giant, massive knot. A knot that's as large as a 5-story tall apartment building. Okay? And you see the quartz and the veins, whether it was sap or maple or whatever was in the tree, that occurs around knots, even in today's world. Okay? So you come over here. Hey, you can clearly see the wood that's incorporated with it. Okay? This thing is massive. Hey, look close at it. This was just a giant knot. Or it could have been where a branch exited out of a part of the tree. Okay, we're going to go down there and take a look, but I just want to get a better overview here so you guys can see this. Okay. And like I say, this is worldwide. Doesn't matter where you're at. Okay, and here's the veins and the pockets of whatever it was that was in the tree. And all them big, huge boulders that you see that's this color, you know they come from the tree, okay? All the large quartz and granite. Okay? I'm showing you where it comes from. They tell you something different, okay? I hope now when you go to the mountains you'll have new eyes and you'll just be absolutely like you're living on a different planet. It's incredible stuff. Okay? And eventually this stuff will weather so bad it'll turn into like what they call sandstone, and it'll just turn back to the earth like everything is intended to do. Okay. Okay, I'm going to pause it while I go down this area here. Well, I'm actually not going to go down there because I don't want my dogs jumping down that far. But you know, now, like I say, some of it's recognizable, some of it's not. But hopefully you've seen enough throughout this video that when you go to the mountains, you'll understand what you're looking at. But this was definitely a giant knot. Bigger than a full-size apartment complex. It's that huge. Okay. So we're just going to leave it at this. I'm going to move on. So before I leave this area here, I want to explain something to you. So when you go to the mountains and you just see rocks like that, like this or like that, you got to understand what they are. They're not really recognizable, but after I've shown you what I've shown you, you should understand, because even though these look like just like large rocks with moss on them, if you look close, there's always telltale signs. Like here, you see 3 rings in this one. Okay? It's just got all the moss and discoloration on it. It's all the same. And this right here, okay? Let me get up on this rock. This is just a small sliver of a standing part, like over there at the monument, okay? And you get back up in here. Okay, these are just small parts that are still standing, okay? That have been weathered and eroded of this massive trees. That's all it is, okay? It's so large. I've been on this project 2 years, and I still cannot wrap my mind around it. But it's there for everybody to see, all right? So I'm going to move on. So this here is just a different part I wanted to show you. This is all still part of the tree. You can look down there and still see the rings, okay? But I want to show you, this stuff is so weathered and it's got so much moss and algae and stuff on it. And you see what they call like a quartz outcrop, okay? And there's granite incorporated in this. And like this all comes from the tree, okay? This all comes from the tree. The quartz, white. This could very well be a big, large, massive knot. You know, it's hard telling. So much of this stuff has been weathered. The rings have been filled in. It's got algae and moss and smoothed and rounded and fallen away. But you see, it all comes from the tree. It's just incredible stuff. Okay? Okay, I just wanted to show you this because this is a pretty large area of quartz everywhere. Actually, I'm going to pause it. I'll walk over there. Hold on. Okay, so all this is quartz, granite, mica. So like this big piece right here, it's similar to a lot of the stuff I was showing you, but it's just been filled in. It looks like one giant stone, but it's not, okay? It didn't start out that way. All these pieces look like that. You come up here, and there's just quartz everywhere. White quartz. Okay? This comes from the tree. Okay? All of it. Everything comes from the tree. All this quartz. And there's probably gold all up in here. Maybe that's why they call it. That's why they say gold runs with the quartz. Okay? So you see how this moss disguises everything. All this and all that is the same as this, but it's hiding. Okay? See there, you can see between some of the moss. They're fairly big, but they're small compared to how big I've seen them. I've seen these as big as school buses, 100 feet long. It's incredible. But yeah, this here is the same as this, and it comes from the tree. Okay, I've shown you that time and time again. It's in the tree. I got her over here. And all these pieces, all of them up here, all this, everything is solid quartz, but it's got that moss on it. Go down the hill here, it's everywhere. Come down here, okay, you see that? That's a solid piece right down there. It's everywhere. You know, you could probably run your metal detector around here and find some gold. It's pretty incredible. All this is solid quartz, all this. And it came from the tree, okay? All right, we're gonna leave it at that. So I came down from up there and I showed you how the moss hides the quartz. But I'm telling you, all this, all the way down, everything, it's just hidden, is solid quartz. I mean, solid. And granite, okay? Here's the piece that's kind of exposed. But everything here, all that, this is the same thing all the way up. All of it. It's incredible. Okay? And it came from the tree, a massive vein. Okay? So we're going to leave it there. To show this part here, you see these large stones, okay? All these large stones. Well, I'm going to show you, okay? If you look close, let's see here. You could still identify the rings, okay? There's 3 there hidden behind that moss and algae. You see them right up here. Okay, they're just very well hidden. And all this has been filled in by sediment and debris over the thousands of years. It's not as distinguished as the stuff you've been seeing. And this is how the tree breaks down in them pieces like that. Okay, they're not just stacked in perfect uniformity like that. Okay, you come over here and I'll show you. Okay, you get up under here, you could still see. Okay, it's just all part of the tree. Okay, you get up under there where the weather hasn't. Let me see. Okay, and you can see the color, the wood. Okay, this is just so disguised. You get up under here where it hasn't been as wet, I suppose. The algae hasn't been on it. Okay, then it breaks off flat. It comes down. Okay, you see that? It's the same all the way up. But this algae and the large quartz and granite parts of the vein, okay, so that's what you're looking at here. all this. They just look like big stones, but you gotta look close. There you can still see the rings. There's 3 of them there, 4 of them. That's how the tree breaks down. It's just things are rounded and smooth. Much is falling away, and the algae and moss disguise everything. Okay, we're going to leave it at that. Okay, we're going to change gears a little bit here. I'm just now leaving the lake, but I want to show you something, okay? So you look across over there, that looks just like a big cluster of rock, okay? But I'm going to drive over there and I'm going to show you something a little bit different. See? So hold on a moment. Okay, you come over here. This is just like one big knot, okay? You come over here and you see it's just all part of the tree, okay? I want to show you this. Okay, these are all just part of the tree, part of the rings. Okay, that's all petrified wood. Okay, we're going to go around over here and I'll show you. Come down here. Okay, it's just all part of the tree. Okay? So let me go up over here a minute. Hold on. Well, I'll just keep you walking with me here, okay? And I'll show you. Okay? You see what's underneath the grass up there, okay? It's just buried by a thin layer of vegetation. Okay? Remember, some of it's recognizable and some of it's not. Okay? You see, these rings are wet. Okay, but it's part of the radius. Okay? You come over here. It's just like I showed you how the branch, the log, I mean the tree breaks up. Okay, so I'm going to go down the street here and show you some other things before I call it a night. Remember how the tree breaks up, okay? And there's knots and veins. Alright, so hold on a moment.